Hello everyone, Lytro Storm here, and today we are back starting another new series on the channel. And this series will be Dragon Ball Misconceptions. Now, a lot of people have done misconceptions on Dragon Ball, and I decided that I wanted to do the same thing, just with some different topics. And that leads us right into today's topic, and that is that these three Namekians you see on screen now are not warriors. So, before we get into the video, as always, just make sure you like it if you do end up enjoying it and you find it educational. Subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content like this, or you want to check out my what ifs. I've done plenty of those. And lastly, as always, be sure to join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. Now, the reason I'm covering this topic on the channel here today is because a lot of people tend to think that these three Namekians are warriors, when they're actually not, and I do have some good evidence to prove that. In the manga, Nail is actually stated to be the only warrior, and in the anime there are three other warriors, but they're not these guys. So I'm going to be covering both versions, and you guys can tell me what you think at the end. So I do have a bit of evidence to back this up, and so let's just get into the biggest piece of evidence and then work our way down with supporting evidence. So the biggest piece would be this statement from Guru, which I do have two translations of, just to make sure it's consistent. The first statement, which is on screen now, says, "Nail will not be bested as easily as you think. He is this planet's lone warrior type Namekian. He is nothing like the others you have killed today." And the second translation says, "Nail is not as weak as you think. He is the only Namekian born as a fighter." Now to me, this one says that he is the planet's lone warrior type Namekian, and because of that, he is nothing like the others you've killed today. Now this implies that because he is the only warrior, he is far stronger than any of the other Namekians that they've killed. However, there is another side to this argument. Now some people look at this and say that Nail is the only warrior left, and he is far stronger than the other warriors. Which is a fair assumption, however I do think that it is a bit of a stretch. Because when you look at Guru's wording, he says, he is this planet's lone warrior type Namekian. Now, when you say someone is the lone warrior, you don't usually mean that they're the last one left. It means that they are the only one. And this is because you would think if he meant to say he is the only one left, then he would say that he is the only one left. However, lone warrior and the only warrior left are two different statements, and one of them Guru does not make here. You also have to consider the fact that these statements are in tandem. They are all on the same panel of the same page. So when you combine them all together, Guru says that Nail will not be bested as easily as you think because he is this planet's lone warrior type Namekian, and because he is the lone warrior type Namekian, he's nothing like the others he's killed. This would imply that because he is the lone warrior, he is the strongest Namekian. And then when you take a look at the second translation, it blatantly says, he is the only Namekian born as a fighter. This means that there is no hope for the only one left argument, as this one says that he is the only one born as a fighter. So even if the other Namekians were killed, it wouldn't change whether or not they were born as a fighter. This one blatantly says, Nail is the only one born as a fighter. And I know I've repeated myself multiple times in this, but let's just move on. So maybe you just only want to take the first translation, and then maybe you also want to take the stretched out argument that he just means he's the only one left. Well, when you take a look at the anime, there are three other warriors. And these guys actually confront Frieza just as Nail was about to fight him himself. These guys show up and blatantly say, we are warrior types just like Nail. Frieza then reads their power levels as 10,000 each. Now comparing them to Nail's power level of 42,000, they are still a lot weaker than him. However, when you compare him to the other Namekians that people tend to think are fighters, they are only at 3,000 each. So the gap, if there were other warriors, would make much more sense to be closer. Plus, when you take a look at how these Namekians are introduced, you have Nail being stated as the only warrior, you have these three Namekians in the anime being stated as warriors, and then you take a look at the three Namekians who had fought Dodoria, and they have no statement of being warriors at all. So with all this different evidence with multiple different translations saying that Nail is the only warrior, the anime having three other warriors that blatantly say they are warriors, and those warriors being closer to Nail's power level than the other Namekians, as well as the fact that the 3 Namekians are not introduced as warriors, unlike Nail and the 3 warriors. We can take all of this into account and say that, yes, Nail is the only warrior in the manga, and in the anime, there are 3 others. However, either way you slice it, these 3 Namekians that fought Dodoria are not warriors. They're simply just regular Namekians living out their days farming and doing other stuff like that. And with that, I hope you guys have learned something today, even if you weren't the one believing this misconception. Hopefully it was still interesting to get some new knowledge about Warrior Namekians. Of course, this was a shorter video, that's kind of the point, but if you do want to see other misconceptions addressed, be sure to comment which ones you want to see in the comments. And of course, as always, if you want to debate on any of these misconceptions, you can always join my Discord and I'll be happy to debate you anytime. But yeah, guys, that's basically the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But as always, tell me if you liked it, comment your requests for future videos, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.